Chapter 771 These strong men are really shameless. My lord. The enemy this time is a bit fierce. I feel that the brothers I brought may not be enough, otherwise I will call another 100,000 brothers over. At this time, Yi shouted to Yi Feng below with a serious face. Fierce? We are so fierce. In your eyes, we are just ants among ants. The 100,000 people you have sent out now are a bit too many. You actually want to invite another 100,000 people? How much do you think of us? Hearing Yi's words, Zhou Qianfeng couldn't believe his ears for a while. Too scary. I'm afraid that any of those golden armored warriors above can sweep a dominant force. And such a strong man, Yi Xiao can call over 100,000 people with just a casual call, and can even call over another 100,000 people. Is this Yi Xiao's true strength? At this time, Shi Zhongfeng in the main stand was also full of shock in his eyes. He only knew that Yi Feng was rich and liked to spend money. But he really didn't know that the power behind Yi Feng would be so terrifying. On the other side, Yi. That's enough. We can't do too much. Next, you can give them a little lesson. Hearing Yi's inquiry, Yi Feng also shook his head helplessly, and then directly refused. My lord. That's still the old rules. We each give them a knife? Hearing Yi Feng's refusal, Yi also showed a hint of disappointment, and then asked out loud. Okay. Just follow the old rules. Remember to be gentle to them. Hearing Yi's inquiry, Yi Feng also gave a positive answer. Each of us will be stabbed? This is to cut us into pieces. Then, you say this is a small lesson? Hearing the conversation between the two, Zhou Qianfeng was so scared that his whole body trembled, and his eyes were filled with endless fear. He never thought that the other party would end their lives in such a cruel way. Main stand. Young Master Yi. This is a bit too cruel. Just teach them a lesson, you don't have to kill them. At this time, Shi Zhongfeng also came to Yi Feng and quickly persuaded him. Who said to kill them? I'm just teaching them a little lesson. After my men draw their swords, they will heal their wounds, so they won't die. Hearing Shi Zhongfeng's persuasion, Yi Feng also explained with a smile on his face. Cut them once and then help them heal their wounds? Doesn't that mean they really have to take 100,000 cuts? It's better to kill them directly. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Shi Zhongfeng also showed a trace of horror. He thought Yi Feng wanted to kill Zhou Qianfeng and others, and everyone might die after a few cuts. Who would have thought that Yi Feng was actually going to let them take 100,000 cuts? Swish. Swish. At this moment, the 100,000 golden armored soldiers in the air turned into golden streams of light, like an overwhelming golden rain of arrows, shooting directly towards Zhou Qianfeng and others below. A few minutes later. Fuck. These people have no moral principles. It was agreed that each person would be stabbed once, but why did each person get 5 slashes? For more slashes per person is not scary, what's scary is that there are 100,000 of you. When this nightmare of being stabbed by thousands of people finally ended, Zhou Qianfeng was so aggrieved that he almost cried. He never thought that these strong men could do such shameless things. Ah. It's over. The 5 most outstanding demon-level geniuses in the clan have all been psychologically traumatized by being stabbed. I don't know when they can get over it. At this time, when Zhou Qianfeng noticed that the 5 younger generations of the clan beside him were sitting there in a trance, a trace of regret appeared on his face. If he had known that this would be the case, he would never bring people to mess up the scene even if he was beaten to death. Brother Shi. Thank you for not killing me. If you need me, Zhou Qianfeng, in the future, please contact me. After calming down, Zhou Qianfeng looked at Shi Zhongfeng below and shouted, then patted the one-horned blue flame lion under him, and then cursed in a low voice. What are you still doing here? Run away quickly, it's not you who got stabbed. If we get stabbed again, I will let you taste the taste of being cut into pieces when I go back. Hearing Zhou Qianfeng's last words, the one-horned blue flame lion was also shocked all over, and then burst out at the fastest speed to escape from here. Main Sect, Clan Hall. Patriarch Sure. Thank you for disturbing me these 2 days. If there is nothing else, I will take Shi Dachuan back to the palace gate today. At this time, Yifeng also looked at Shi Zhanfeng and said with a smile. Young Master Yi. Are you in such a hurry to leave? I haven't had time to entertain you yet. Hearing Yifeng's words, Shi Zhanfeng also hurriedly expressed his thoughts. He was not being polite, but really wanted to entertain Yifeng well. After all, if they could have a good relationship with Yifeng, they could walk sideways in this god realm. Chief Shi. No need to bother. It just so happens that we have something to deal with when we go back. Hearing Shi Zhanfeng's words, Yifeng also smiled and refused. Outrageous. It's really outrageous. Why hasn't Dachuan come back yet? Did he fall into the shit pit? At this moment, Shi Yunlan on the side was furious and cursed. Senior Shi. Stop scolding Shi Dachuan. Taking the Jinwu ghost pill will not only change your body, but also cause diarrhea. And he took 1,000 Jinwu ghost pills. If he doesn't have diarrhea in the hut, he will definitely not be able to get out. Hearing Shi Yunlong's scolding, Yifeng also hurriedly explained. Taking the Jinwu ghost pill will also cause diarrhea. Hearing Yifeng's words, Shi Yunlong, Shi Zhanfeng and the 4 ancestors beside him all looked ugly, because they finally understood why Shi Dachuan had been so kind to give them 10 Jinwu ghost pills to try. Chief Shi. Please give this designated space portal to Shi Dachuan later. I won't wait for him. After saying that, Yifeng activated a designated space portal and soon disappeared from everyone's sight. Fuck. This rebellious son. He even betrayed his own father. If the effect of the Jinwu ghost pill is gone, I will have diarrhea. When Yifeng left, Shi Yunlong cursed angrily. Chapter 772 What? The dog kidnapped my personal disciple? Shi Yunlong. Your son not only cheated you, but also me and the 4 ancestors. It seems that before he leaves, we must teach him a profound and unforgettable lesson. At this time, Shi Zhanfeng on the side also spoke angrily, and at the same time took out his weapon from the magic ring. Patriarch. Head of the family. 4 ancestors. Don't be impulsive. Dachuan has already become Master Ye's concubine. To put it bluntly, if our Shi family wants to take off, we have to worship him as our ancestor. Seeing that the 6 people took out their weapons and prepared to teach Shi Dachuan a lesson, Zhang Yunfei on the side also hurriedly blocked everyone, and then persuaded them seriously. Can't touch Shi Dachuan? We have to worship him as our ancestor in the future? Hearing Zhang Yunfei's persuasion, everyone was stunned. In the hut. Fuck. I'm about to collapse. The side effects of this Jinwu ghost pill are too damn strong. At this time, Shi Dachuan, who was puffing wildly in the hut, also shouted in a collapsed expression, and thinking that Yifeng had just given him another 1,000,000 Jinwu ghost pills, he felt that his life had become gloomy. What's going on? Father, clan leader and 4 ancestors, why haven't they come to accompany me yet? Is the effect of the elixir not over yet? Then, Shi Dachuan suddenly thought of something, and muttered to himself with a frown. Xinghuan Palace. System. I will return to the upper realm tomorrow. You said, after I return to the upper realm, should I continue to play for a while, or ascend to the divine realm directly? After returning to his residence, Yifeng chatted with the system. Ding. Host, you are too stupid. I don't know how to answer you for this kind of question. However, I suggest that the host ascend directly to the god realm, because the top planes are already so poor that they can't even make ends meet. Huh? The system has said before that the higher the level of the plane, the poorer it is. But I think the God realm is okay. Why are the top planes so poor that they can't even make ends meet? Hearing the system's words, Yifeng also revealed a trace of doubt, and then asked directly, "System, are the top planes really that poor?" Ding. Host, the top planes are really almost dying of poverty, and if you don't ascend as soon as possible, it won't be long before the God realm will be the same, and then it will be the turn of the upper realm, and finally the thousands of lower realms. Hearing Yifeng's inquiry, the system also explained aloud. What? Will this storm of poverty sweep all planes? And the next plane to be affected is the God realm? Hearing the system's explanation, Yifeng also exclaimed with shock on his face. For this kind of thing, he didn't think the system was joking with him. Ding. Host, I can only tell you this much for now. When you ascend to the top plane, you will naturally understand everything. You don't need to be too stressed. Just spend money normally. At this time, the system's voice sounded again. Just spend money to solve this crisis? Saving the world, is it that simple? After hearing what the system said, Yifeng was stunned for a moment, then he grinned. Although he had no interest in the savior, he would not mind if he could get a savior for free. Forget it. Since the system has reminded me to this extent, I will leave these 2 random breakthrough scrolls in my hand to Shi Dachuan and Li Qi. Thinking of this, Yifeng left his residence and then walked towards Li Qi's residence. He would not let the system's reminder affect his mentality and behavior. System, I reminded you for a long time, but I reminded you for nothing? So annoying. How poor is the top plane? After the system said that, I want to go and see it. Walking on the road, Yifeng also muttered to himself with curiosity. A moment later. Huh? Where are the people? When Yifeng came to Li Qi's residence and found that Li Qi was not there, a look of doubt appeared on his face. Young Master Yi. Are you looking for Li Qi? Just then, Huashan's voice suddenly rang out from behind Yifeng. That's right. I have something to do with Li Qi. Palace Master, do you know where he went? Turning around, Yifeng looked at Huashan and asked. He went to rob. Go and the others felt too bored in the palace gate, so they went out to rob. Before leaving, they took Li Qi with them, saying that they were responsible for robbing, and Li Qi was responsible for ruining the family. Hearing Yifeng's question, Huashan hurriedly told him everything he knew. The disciple I just accepted was kidnapped by Guzi? Does its mother know that it is such a dog? After knowing this situation, Yifeng was stunned. He never thought that Guzi would kidnap his own disciple. You know, he hasn't accepted Li Qi into the ruined family yet. Forget it. Anyway, he has been kidnapped. Wait until he comes back, and then accept him into the ruined family. Thinking of this, Yifeng gave up the idea of looking for them. Ding. Random tasks are released. Please go to Moyang City and perform 3 wasteful behaviors. If the task is successful, you will be rewarded with a large number of wasteful points, a very high chance of upgrading a small realm, and a very high chance of obtaining special rewards. If the task fails, you will be rewarded with a large number of wasteful points, and a very low chance of upgrading a small realm. The task time is 1 day. At this time, the sound of the system issuing random tasks rang out in Yifeng's mind. Huh. Is it because I didn't use these 2 random breakthrough scrolls, so the system is anxious? Hearing the random task issued by the system, Yifeng also laughed, and then walked towards the direction of the dream hut. My lord. Seeing Yifeng coming over, Yi Xiaojiao and Yi Xiaochue, who were lying on the ground basking in the sun, also stood up quickly, and then shouted respectfully. Send me to Moyang City. When he came in front of the 2, Yifeng did not say any more nonsense and directly gave orders. Moyang City. Perform 3 acts of profligacy. How should I play? At this time, walking on the main street of Moyang City, Yifeng also talked to himself excitedly. Not far away. That kid is dressed luxuriously. And he came here using a space portal. He must have valuable things on him. It seems that I can steal a lot today. No, I can make a lot of money again. At this time, a middle-aged man in black looked at Yifeng in the distance, and his face also showed a touch of excitement. Chapter 773 Damn. How come I met that poor guy again? A moment later. Oops. Little brother, I'm so sorry. I was so distracted that I didn't see you. At this time, the man in black bumped into Yifeng and said apologetically. This familiar action. This familiar rhetoric. Why does he feel a bit like a pickpocket in the previous life? After hearing what the other party said, Yifeng also frowned slightly, and then checked the magic ring in his arms that contained the quilt. The black-cloaked man opposite him smiled and immediately fled from here. Fuck. That bastard just now turned out to be a pickpocket. And he actually stole the magic ring that contained my quilt. When Yifeng found out that his magic ring was really stolen, he was furious and cursed. You know, most of his things are placed in the system space, and only the quilt he covers every day is placed in a magic ring. Wait a minute. At this moment, Yifeng suddenly thought of something, and then asked the system, if my treasure is stolen, does it count as a waste? Ding. Host, if your treasure is stolen, it does not count as a waste, unless the person who steals your treasure will waste it, then the system will determine it as a waste. So, whether it counts as a waste depends on whether the person who steals it will be a waste. As Yifeng finished speaking, the system's voice rang directly from his mind. System. Then let him steal my treasure first, and then I persuade him to waste the stolen treasure. Does this count? After hearing the system's explanation, Yifeng asked again. Ding. Host, just do whatever you want. The system doesn't look at the process, only the result. Hearing the system's final answer, Yifeng also grinned, and then muttered to himself, the system doesn't look at the process, but only the result, but it leaves me a lot of room to play. On the other side. Fuck. What the hell is going on? That kid only has a magic ring on him, but there is nothing in the magic ring, but it is full of quilts. It's okay to fill it with quilts. Those brand new quilts are fine, but why are nearly half of the quilts full of holes? What have these quilts experienced? When Kumang walked out of the town and checked the weird situation in the magic ring, he was stunned. Fuck. I'm a thief who steals other people's things. But he's a big liar who cheats on people like us. He's a real dog. After recovering from his shock, Kumang started to curse angrily. He never thought that the other party's wealth was just pretending. It would be fine if he was just pretending, but he was also deceived. This is what made him most angry. Hey. I thought I could rest early today. Now it seems that I have to find a new target. After cursing, Kumang shook his head helplessly, and then returned to the town again. Fuck. Why did I meet that big liar again? No, I have to stay away from him. When Kumang returned to the town, he met Yifeng again, but this time, he lowered his head and chose to take a detour, preparing to bypass him. He did this not because he was afraid that Yifeng would recognize him, but because he really didn't want to pay attention to Yifeng, a poor guy. Finally found him. This time, he will definitely steal to his heart's content. Yifeng, who also found Kumang, also showed a hint of excitement on his face, and then walked towards Kumang quickly. What's wrong with this guy? Why is he still avoiding me? However, before he took a few steps, Yifeng found that the other party was deliberately avoiding him, which made him wonder, is he afraid of being recognized by me, so he deliberately avoided me? No matter. Since he is avoiding me, I will take the initiative to attack. When the time comes, I will deliberately create opportunities for him, so he can easily steal the magic ring from me. Thinking of this, Yifeng grinned, and then walked towards Kumeng in the distance. Fuck. He's coming. He walked towards me with arrogant steps. Although I'm not afraid of him causing trouble for me, I really don't want to bother with this poor guy. Noticing that Yifeng was walking towards him directly, Kumeng also revealed a helpless look. After all, his strength was far stronger than Yifeng, so even if Yifeng really came to cause trouble for him, he wouldn't care. Oops. Brother, I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about something and didn't see you. This time, Yifeng deliberately bumped into Kumeng, and then returned what he had said before intact. Swish. 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 At this time, Kumeng, who was bumped into, was like a frightened bird, and began to quickly check his magic ring, sound transmission stone and other items on his body, fearing that Yifeng was a colleague and would directly pickpocket him. Fuck. I bumped into you to give you a chance to attack. But you mistakenly thought I attacked you? Isn't this your occupational disease? When Yifeng on the opposite side saw this scene, he also muttered to himself with a black face. Huh. Not bad. All the things are there. I thought this kid had stolen them. When Kumeng found that the magic ring and other items on his body were not lost, he also breathed a sigh of relief, and then the nervous look on his face gradually relaxed. Brother. Don't be nervous, I'm not your colleague. I came to you this time, just to let you steal from me a few more times. At this time, Yifeng also looked at Kumeng seriously and explained. Let me steal from you a few more times? I am a great thief. I always pick on others in this regard. Why is it the other way around when it comes to you? Do you really disrespect my profession? Hearing Yifeng's request, Kumeng couldn't believe his ears for a moment. He never thought that Yifeng, relying on himself as a poor guy, could be so arrogant. And facing Yifeng's shouting, he had no way to do anything, because the other party really had nothing to steal. Brother. I don't understand what you mean by that. If there is nothing else, I will leave first. Although he was very angry, Kumeng had no way to deal with the poor guy's roguery, so his idea was that if he couldn't steal, couldn't he hide from you? Huh? I asked you to steal, but you didn't steal? Are all the thieves in this other world so crazy? Seeing Kumeng turn around and leave, Yifeng also revealed a look of confusion. Chapter 774, Do you want to make me laugh to death and then take away the treasure from me? A moment later. Oops. Brother, I'm so sorry. I bumped into you again. Soon, Yifeng found the right opportunity and bumped into Kumeng again. Boy. Are you done yet? I warn you, if you dare to pester me again, don't blame me for being rude to you. At this time, Kumeng also looked at Yifeng with anger and warned him. Brother. I don't understand, you are a thief, and then I let you steal, but why don't you steal? Why, stealing like this is not challenging, so you don't like it? Hearing Kumeng's threat, Yifeng didn't care, but asked with a puzzled look. Steal. 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 You are a poor guy, what do you want me to steal from you? I just stole a bunch of your broken quilts, this time I have to steal a bunch of your broken bitter tea seeds? Also, who the hell are you calling a thief? I am a thief, a big thief. Hearing Yifeng's words, Kumeng finally couldn't help but complain out loud. I am a poor guy? As a spendthrift, I was actually regarded as a poor guy by a thief? Hearing Kumeng's complaints, Yifeng couldn't believe his ears for a moment. He never thought that the other party was hiding from him not because he was afraid of being recognized, but because he thought he was a poor guy. Brother. I am a spendthrift rich man, not a poor guy. So, just feel free to steal boldly, this time you will definitely steal something good. After recovering from his shock, Yifeng began to explain, and this time was also the last time he reminded the other party. If the other party still didn't get it, he would have to use some special means. Ha ha ha. You are a poor guy, and you dare to call yourself a spendthrift? Brother, do you want to make me laugh to death and then pick up the treasures from me? Kumeng, who heard what Yifeng said, couldn't help laughing, and even laughed to tears. Ah. This guy is hopeless. It seems that without some special means, he won't steal things from me. At this time, Yifeng also shook his head helplessly, and then prepared to call Yi Xiaojiao over. Brother. Since you made me happy, I will steal you again. But I have to say it in advance. After I steal you this time, I will not steal you again, and you, don't bother me again. Just when Yifeng was about to call for help, Kumeng's voice suddenly rang out. Okay. Then let's get started. Hearing Kumeng's words, Yifeng also showed a hint of excitement, and then began to retreat, but Kumeng suddenly made a move at this time and stole the lonely one. What are you doing? Didn't you ask me to steal you? Why are you retreating? I can just steal it. Why do you have to bump into him just for the sake of formality? Seeing Yifeng retreat more than 20 meters, Kumeng was stunned. He never thought that he, a thief, didn't care about the formality, but the other person, who was stolen, cared about it. Very soon. Oh. Brother, it's really not. Before Yifeng finished speaking, Kumeng yelled in a collapsed manner, oh, that's my word. Huh. After letting out a long breath, Kumeng quickly adjusted his mentality, then shook the magic ring in his hand and said directly, okay, I have stolen all your broken bitter tea seeds, don't bother me anymore. After that, Kumeng walked away directly. I just stole once. There are still 2 more to go. If I don't bother you, where can I find other where can I find other big thieves? Looking at Kumeng who was leaving, Yifeng showed a look of success. He believed that as long as the other party saw the things in the magic ring, he would definitely be excited. At that time, if he asked the other party to steal twice more, the other party would definitely agree directly. A moment later. Fuck. 1 billion top-grade divine crystals? Am I dazzled? After Kumeng left, he also took a look at the situation in the magic ring. When he found that there were 1 billion top-grade divine crystals in this magic ring, he was stunned on the spot, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. It is no exaggeration to say that these 1 billion top-grade divine crystals are definitely a fortune that he will never have in his lifetime. It's over, it's over. I hit a brick wall. I thought the other party was a poor guy, but who would have thought that the other party was a hidden boss? And the other party deliberately let me steal, he must be playing with me, and when he has enough fun, it may be my death. Thinking of this, Kumeng's eyes were instantly filled with endless fear. He never thought that he would lose his life just by doing a job today. Oops. Brother, I'm so sorry. I bumped into you again. Just when Kumeng was panicking, his body was bumped again, and then Yifeng's devilish voice rang from his ears again. Fuck. I will never use this excuse again. It's too scary. After hearing Yifeng's familiar words, Kumeng felt like he was going crazy. He really didn't expect that these few words he often said would one day make him so scared. Pong, at this moment, Kumeng knelt down to Yifeng, and then said in fear, Brother, I was wrong, I shouldn't steal your things, please forgive me once, I will never steal again. Why did he kneel down to me? Could it be that 1 billion top-grade divine crystals were a bit too much, and scared the other party? Seeing Kumeng kneeling down to him, Yifeng also showed a bit of confusion. He thought that the other party would be more excited after stealing so many top-grade divine crystals. Who would have thought that he still overestimated the other party's psychological endurance? Brother. I understand your mood of wanting to retire. But can you steal from me and then retire? Don't worry, the remaining 2 divine rings are all good things, and I will never let you down. After recovering, Yifeng looked at Kumeng and persuaded him. Let me steal from you twice. Are you planning to let me steal twice for the last time and then get rid of me? Thinking that a dead person can be considered as a retirement, Kumeng was so scared that his whole body began to tremble. After a full minute, Kumeng finally summoned up the courage to ask, "Brother, what will be the consequences if I don't steal?" "Huh? I asked you what the consequences are, why are you still drawing on the ground?" Seeing that Yifeng did not answer him, but instead took a wooden crotch to draw on the ground, Kumeng was stunned. Chapter 775 It is better to have someone accompany you than to die alone. A small circle. There is a big circle below. 2 smalls are drawn on the left and right of the big circle, and then 2 smalls are also drawn at the bottom of the big circle. Then 2 dots are drawn inside the small circle, and a J is drawn in the middle below the 2 dots. What on earth is this drawing? Seeing the painting drawn by Yifeng, Kumeng was stunned, because he couldn't guess what this painting was about. Fuck. Brother, you can't draw a person, right? However, when Yifeng drew the gun, a flash of light suddenly flashed through Kumeng's mind, and then an unbelievable look appeared on his face. He never thought that Yifeng had been drawing for a long time, and what he drew was actually a person, and a man. However, what puzzled Kumeng was that he asked about the consequences of not stealing, but why did Yifeng draw a man? Brother, don't you want to know the consequences of not stealing? Then you better watch out. Just when Kumeng was confused, Yifeng's voice suddenly rang out from the side. Then, under Kumeng's confused eyes, Yifeng directly used his foot to rub the gun away. The gun is gone? In other words, if I dare not steal, he will destroy my gun. Thinking of this, Kumeng's legs tightened, and then a look of horror appeared on his face. He never thought that Yifeng would do such a vicious thing to him. Steal twice, and then I will be killed by him directly. No, destroy my gun first, and then I will still be killed by him. Anyway, I will die, so I definitely want to die completely. Thinking of this, Kumeng quickly made a decision, and then looked at Yifeng seriously and said, "Brother, I will steal, let's start." Okay. However, for the remaining 2 times, I will not take the initiative to let you steal. You have to find an opportunity to attack me yourself, just let me see your professional ability. After that, Yifeng walked away directly. No way. Why is this young master so playful? Just stealing twice, must it be so complicated? Seeing Yifeng leaving, Kumeng was stunned on the spot. He never thought that his road to death would be so bumpy. The mission takes 1 day. Then I'll kill time as much as possible. When the mission is completed, I can return to the upper realm. It's perfect. When Yifeng strolled on the street again, he muttered to himself with a smile on his face. Hey! Isn't that Chao Feng? Why is he here? On the other side, when Kumeng was about to attack Yifeng again, he saw a familiar figure in the crowd. It's better to have someone accompany you than to die alone. That bastard Chao Feng has been against me for so many years, and he has intercepted many of my targets. Since we meet this time, let's drag him into the water, otherwise, there will be no chance in the future. Then, Kumeng made a decision. An hour later. Big fish. It's definitely a big fish. Kumeng has been staring at that young man for so long, it can be seen that the young man is definitely a big fish. Then don't blame me for intercepting it, who made him hesitate to take action. At this time, a middle-aged man in a gray robe in the dark also grinned. He and Kumeng are old acquaintances, but in their line of work, colleagues are enemies, so over the years, the two have snatched each other's targets. Damn. Is Chao Feng so patient? It's been so long, why hasn't he made a move yet? On the other side, Kumeng found that Chao Feng hadn't made a move yet, and he became a little anxious. Because it had been so long, he still hadn't made a move yet. He was really afraid that Yi Feng would get impatient and destroy his spear in a rage. He's making a move. He's finally making a move. At this moment, when Kumeng noticed that Chao Feng, who had been observing him in the dark, began to walk towards Yi Feng, a triumphant smile appeared on his face. Oops. Little brother, I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about something and didn't see you. Soon, Chao Feng deliberately bumped into Yi Feng, and then said the familiar words. What's going on? Changed people? Looking at the strange man in front of him, Yi Feng also showed a bit of confusion. While Yi Feng was in a state of confusion, Chao Feng grinned and then quickly fled from here. On the other side, outside the city wall. Chao Feng. You still like to intercept me so much. When Chao Feng came to a secluded place outside the city, Kumeng suddenly appeared in front of him, and then looked at Chao Feng with a playful look and teased him. Kumeng. You can't blame me for this. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame yourself for not taking action. Seeing Kumeng suddenly appear, Chao Feng didn't react much, but instead shouted with a smug look on his face. Chao Feng. Do you think there is such a possibility? It's this target, I deliberately lured you into the trap. Seeing Chao Feng's smug look, Kumeng asked with a playful look. Kumeng, what do you mean by this? Hearing this, Chao Feng frowned and asked back. What do you mean? Take a look at what you just stole. You should understand something after you finish looking at it. Instead of answering Chao Feng's question, Kumeng reminded him to check what he had just stolen. Fuck. This is a full 100,000 9-petal Tian Miao fire lotuses? Isn't this thing extremely rare? Why does that young man have so many? When Chao Feng saw that there were 100,000 9-petal Tian Miao fire lotuses in the divine ring, he also exclaimed with his eyes wide open, because he had no idea how much these 100,000 Tian Miao fire lotuses were worth in terms of top-grade divine crystals, but he knew one thing, that is, this was definitely not something a small character like him could own. It's over, it's over. I thought that young man was a big fish, but who would have thought that he was actually a prehistoric giant shark that eats people? And he can carry so many Tianmiao fire lotuses with him, so how could he not have a powerful protector? Thinking of this, Chao Feng panicked, and then he looked around, fearing that the terrifying protector would suddenly appear and take his life. Wait a minute, at this moment, Chao Feng suddenly thought of something, and then he looked directly at Kumeng who was standing beside him, and then he cursed, Kumeng, you are screwing me. Chapter 776. It's okay if you don't ruin the family, I have thought about it for you. Yes. I screwed you, so what? Come and bite me if you don't agree. Seeing that Chao Feng finally reacted, Kumeng laughed and mocked. Fuck. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Chao Feng, you are a dog, let go. However, soon Kumeng screamed, and then looked at Chao Feng who was biting his thigh and cursed. He really didn't expect that Chao Feng would actually bite him. After a while. Tell me. What's going on? After biting Kumeng for a full minute, Chao Feng finally let go, and then looked at the other party with a serious face and asked. It's very simple. I stole a magic ring from that young master before. Then he found out, and he asked me to steal from him 3 more times. And the purpose of doing this should be to play a trick on me. After I stole from him 3 times, he should have someone kill me. Who would have thought that you would show up at this time, and then I thought it's better to die alone than to have someone accompany you, so I directly pulled you into the trap. Hearing Chao Feng's question, Kumeng also told all the circumstances. God damn, it's better to die alone than to have someone accompany you, you know you're going to die, but you still drag me to accompany you. Are you still a human being? After understanding all the circumstances, Chao Feng wanted to kill Kumeng. He really didn't expect that the other party could do such a shitty thing. Let's go. It's only the last time, let's steal together. Don't think about not stealing. If you don't steal, that young master will destroy our big spear. Anyway, we're all going to die, why not die intact? Seeing Chao Feng looking at him with angry eyes, Kumeng reminded him without caring. Eating meat and drinking wine. Waiting for others to steal. This little life is really wonderful. At this time, Yi Feng found a restaurant to drink a little wine, and then quietly waited for Kumeng to steal from him for the third time. Yeah. Finally here. And that guy just now, it seems that guy is really the helper that Kumeng found. Yi Feng couldn't help laughing when he noticed that Kumeng and Chao Feng were looking inside the restaurant with sly eyes. It was really the way the two looked at the moment, as if the word thief was written on their faces. Snap, seeing that the two had found him and were walking towards him, Yi Feng casually placed the last magic ring on the table so that they could steal it. Fuck. Kumeng, this young master really looks down on us. He actually placed the magic ring directly on the table. He didn't ask us to steal it, he asked us to take it away. Seeing this, Chao Feng also complained to Kumeng through his spiritual sense. Chao Feng. You're going to die, why are you still caring about whether it's stealing or taking? You're crazy. Hearing Chao Feng's complaints, Kumeng was also angry and cursed. Then, the two walked past Yi Feng's table, took the magic ring on the table, and then left the restaurant and walked towards the city gate. They had to find a better place to bury their bones. All 3 magic rings have been stolen. It's time to persuade them to lose their money. Looking at the 2 people leaving, Yi Feng also chased them out with a smile on his face. Outside the town, a secluded place. Master. That's it. Please give us a quick death. After arriving at a secluded place, Kumeng looked at Yi Feng, who had been following them, and said. Give them a quick death? Could it be that they mistakenly thought I would kill them? Hearing what Kumeng said, Yi Feng was stunned at first, and then a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, because this made it easier for him to persuade the 2 to spend money. Actually, you still have a chance to survive. As long as you do me a small favor, I will spare you. How about it, are you interested? Then, Yi Feng looked at Kumeng with a playful look and asked. What? As long as you do a small favor, you can survive? The 2 who heard this showed an incredible look on their faces. They never thought that happiness would come so suddenly. Master. We are interested. I just don't know what we can do for you. After recovering from his shock, Kumeng looked at Yi Feng and asked hurriedly. Spend money. Help me spend money. You just need to help me spend all the things in the 3 magic rings, and I will spare your lives. Hearing Kumeng's question, Yi Feng told his real purpose. Spendthrift? Help you spend all the things in those 3 magic rings? Stunned. After hearing what Yi Feng said, both of them were dumbfounded. They really couldn't understand what Yi Feng proposed. You know, those 3 magic rings contained 1 billion top-grade magic crystals, 100,000 9-petal heavenly fire lotuses, and 10 barrels of formless magic soil. It can be said that the things in any of the divine rings are wealth that they will never have in their lifetime, but now, the other party actually let them squander it. How can they understand this? Don't you know how to squander it? It doesn't matter, I've thought about it for you. The 1 billion top-grade divine crystals will be used to build a statue, but this statue must be in a squatting position. Then add water to the 10 buckets of the formless divine soil, to make mud and build a huge earthen toilet, which can be placed under the statue. Finally, while the night is coming, we will throw 100,000 9-petal Tianmiao fire lotuses into the huge earthen toilet and light them, and have a fireworks feast in the toilet. Seeing that the two were dumbfounded and didn't speak, Yifeng thought that the two didn't know how to squander it, so he directly expressed his squandering ideas. When they heard Yifeng's extremely crazy squandering three-stroke combo, the two couldn't believe their ears for a while. They never thought that someone could squander it to such an extent. Young master, no. We can accept using the best divine crystals to build the statue. Although there will be some damage, it won't be too serious. But the Wuxiang divine soil cannot touch water. Once it touches water and turns into mud, it will become wasteland. That would be a waste of natural resources. Also, the Tianmiao fire lotus is also an extremely rare and expensive treasure. If all of them are ignited, it will be like countless top-grade divine crystals burning wildly. Even if it is a waste, it can't be so wasteful. After recovering from his shock, Chao Feng looked at Yifeng anxiously and persuaded him. Chao Feng. Who do you think you are? Can you disobey the young master's idea? If you ask me, we will lose as the young master tells us to. As long as the young master is happy, let alone ignite 100,000 Tianmiao fire lotuses, even if I am lit to help cheer me up, I will have no complaints. At this moment, Kumeng on the side looked at Chao Feng and shouted angrily. Aren't those words I said the result of our discussion just now? As a result, now it's my fault? Hearing Kumeng's angry rebuke, Chao Feng on the side was dumbfounded. He really didn't expect that Kumeng would stab him in the back. Chapter 777 System, are you sure you didn't mean it? Kumeng. Or you can say you are the big brother. Your awareness is high. As for your little brother, his awareness is really weak. Hearing Kumeng's words, Yifeng also said this, casually. He is my big brother and I am his little brother. When did it happen? Why didn't I know? Also, why is my awareness so weak? I was tricked by him. Hearing Yifeng's words, Chao Feng wanted to cry to death. He never thought that he would be cheated by Kumeng twice, and then he became his younger brother. Who can bear this grievance? Enough. Hurry up and spend the money. You only have 5 hours. At this time, Yifeng looked at the two and reminded them. Night fell. Young master. The statue has been built. The huge toilet made of Wuxiang divine soil is also completed. Now, we can light 100,000 Tianmiao fire lotuses at any time. Kumeng came to Yifeng and briefly explained the situation. Chao Feng. Look at your brother's efficiency. Learn more in the future. After hearing Kumeng's words, Yifeng looked at Chao Feng on the side and educated him. His efficiency? He was like a big boss, directing me to work. It can be said that the large statue and the huge toilet were completed so quickly, which was all my credit. How come it is all his credit when it comes to you? Hearing Yifeng's words, Chao Feng was so wrong that he almost cried. He had lived for thousands of years and had never suffered such a grievance. Young master. Can I ask you a question? After igniting all 100,000 Tianmiao fire lotuses, what should be done with this statue? At this time, Kumeng suddenly thought of something, and then looked at Yifeng and asked, tentatively. It's already yours. What do you want to do with it? Why are you asking me? Just do it however you want. Hearing Kumeng's question, Yifeng also responded casually. Hiss. Hearing this, Kumeng was so excited that his whole body began to tremble. You know, although the creation of the statue consumed some top-grade divine crystals, it was 1 billion top-grade divine crystals after all, and the loss was nothing at all. It's good, it's good, it's good. Although I'm not happy to recognize Kumeng as my big brother, if he can give me half, it's not unfair for me to be a little brother. Chao Feng, who was standing aside, was also excited after hearing this. After all, he also risked his life to get involved, so he must get half of the benefits. After a while. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the random task, and the reward is 5 million spendthrift points and a small realm breakthrough. As Kumang and Chao Feng lit 100,000 Tianmiao fire lotuses, the system's reward prompt sound also rang in Yifeng's mind. Boom. Then, a breath of breakthrough burst out from Yifeng's body, and his strength also broke through from the 9th level of the Divine Emperor realm to the 1st level of the Divine Emperor realm. You too. Everything has been defeated, and I have to go back to the city to rest. We'll meet again in the future if we are lucky enough. After saying that, Yifeng walked directly towards the town in the distance. Kumang. You screwed me twice. If you don't divide this statue equally, then we'll fight to the death. After Yifeng left, Chao Feng looked at Kumang and told him his thoughts. He was not joking. If Kumang dared not to divide it equally, he would really fight with him. After all, it was more than 900 million top-grade divine crystals. Even if he had half of it, he would have the capital to change his fate. Early the next morning. Ding. Host, please note that the playtime is up and the host is about to return to the upper realm. Ding. The countdown begins. 10, 9, 8, 1, start returning to the upper realm. Just when Yifeng was sleeping soundly, the system's prompt sound suddenly rang from his mind. However, before Yifeng could react, a strange black hole appeared directly behind him and instantly sucked him in. Fuck. System, did you eat the 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2 in the middle? Can you play the countdown like this? Then, Yifeng's curse came from the black hole. Upper Realm. Star Soul Holy Land, Star Soul Peak. Elders. Look up at the sky, it seems like someone has fallen, and that person looks a bit like Elder Yi. At this time Elder Taishu, Elder Zizhu, Elder Yugue, and other 8 elders were sitting on Xinghuan Peak drinking tea, and Elder Yugue suddenly saw a person falling from the sky, and then shouted to the other 7 people. Elder Yugue. What do you mean by a bit like? That's Elder Yi. Hearing what Elder Yugue said, the other 7 people immediately looked up at the sky, and Elder Taishu recognized Yifeng at the first time. Elders. I'm back. When Yifeng fell, he saw the 8 elders drinking tea on his Xinghuan Peak, and he also shouted with a smile on his face. Boom. At this moment, a huge white door suddenly appeared in the air, and a white ladder slowly descended from it, appearing directly at Yifeng's feet. Ding. Host, no, I forgot to downgrade the system. Now because the system level is too high, and your strength has reached the peak of the 9th level of the Immortal Tribulation realm, you meet the conditions for ascending to the God realm, so the door to the Kingdom of God in the Ascension God realm is automatically opened. Just when Yifeng was wondering what the white ladder under his feet was, the voice of the system suddenly rang in his mind. You forgot to downgrade? Why do I feel like you did it on purpose? Hearing the system's words, Yifeng's face was instantly covered with black lines, but thinking that he was going to officially ascend to the God realm, he was too lazy to complain about the system. After all, the system has always been so fond of him, so what's the big deal about it cheating him twice? Elders. I'm leaving again. If the Holy Land needs anything in the future, go to Long Xiaofeng and Tang Xiaoqiang. Also, I founded a palace gate in the God realm, called the Star Soul Palace. If someone in the Holy Land ascends to the God realm in the future, let them go directly to the Star Soul Palace. After looking at the 8 elders and saying these things, Yifeng stepped on the white ladder and walked directly towards the gate of the Kingdom of God in the air. Just came back, and left? And ascended directly to the God realm? How long have you been from the lower realm to the upper realm? As a result, we haven't ascended to the God realm yet, and you went first? Seeing Yifeng disappear in the gate of the Kingdom of God, the 8 elders of the Holy Land below were all stunned. They really didn't expect that Yi Feng would ascend to the God realm before them. Chapter 778 I'm just being polite, you really don't take it seriously. God realm. The gate of the kingdom of God. Is there an ascender coming up? Chao Feng, do you want to teach this newcomer a lesson and let him feel the sinister people in the God realm first? Noticing that the gate of the kingdom of God suddenly appeared in the distance, Kumeng also expressed his thoughts with a smirk on his face. Brother Kumeng, you are really bad. But I like it. Let me take the lead in a while. Hearing Kumeng's proposal, Chao Feng nodded with a smirk on his face. A moment later. This is considered as the official ascension to the God realm. However, I always feel that I can't stay in the God realm for long. After walking out of the gate of the kingdom of God, Yi Feng also muttered to himself. Kumeng and Chao Feng in the distance were stunned when they saw that the person who walked out of the gate of the kingdom of God was Yi Feng. This situation was really beyond their cognition. After all, Yi Feng's strength has reached the first level of the God Emperor realm, so he must be a person in the God realm, but how come he has become a newcomer who has just ascended? Chao Feng. Aren't you going to take the lead? Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up. At this time, Kumeng, who had recovered from his shock, also looked at Chao Feng and said jokingly. Although he didn't know what was going on, he knew one thing, that is, the matter of educating newcomers must have been ruined, because this newcomer was a little bit fierce. Go to the poop. Go if you dare. If this really happens, I won't know how I died. Although he knew that Kumeng was joking with him, Chao Feng couldn't help but curse back. Big fool. What are you talking about? Run. If that young master sees us, and regrets it and wants to take back those top-grade divine crystals, we will cry to death. At this moment, Kumeng's voice suddenly rang out from Chao Feng's mind. Hearing this, Chao Feng realized that Kumeng, who had just stood by, had already run away, and he was still standing here stupidly. On the other side. Huh. Aren't those two the thieves we met yesterday? What are they doing here? At this time, seeing two familiar figures running freely in the sun in the distance, Yi Feng also muttered to himself with surprise. Forget it. Never mind them. Let's take a look at the waste products for fresh today. Then, Yi Feng checked the waste products for fresh today. Today's waste product, Guiyuan Tianshan. Guiyuan Tianshan, a rare natural treasure unique to the Tiandao battlefield. After swallowing, it can increase lifespan without any side effects. Huh. The waste product refreshed today is actually a treasure that can increase lifespan. Then how should this thing be spent to make it more interesting? After checking the waste product refreshed today, Yi Feng also lowered his head and pondered. Huh? Why did the palace master contact me again? Just then, Yi Feng found that the sound transmission stone in his arms suddenly reacted, and then he activated the sound transmission stone with a curious look. Young Master Yi. Where are you now? Is it convenient for you to come back? Something big has happened. When Yi Feng activated the sound transmission stone, Huashan's voice first rang out from Yi Feng's mind. Palace Master. I'll go back now. After hearing Huashan's words, Yi Feng responded first, and then activated a designated space portal, and at the same time wondered in his heart, something big has happened. Is it that something happened to the palace gate? Xinghuan Palace. Palace Master. What big thing has happened? When he came to the palace gate hall, Yi Feng looked at Huashan and asked. Young Master Yi. Just now, the Tianji Pavilion sent a message to all the forces in the God realm. That is, the divine stones, divine crystals, and many cultivation resources and natural treasures in the Tiandao battlefield and the God realm are slowly dissipating on their own. That is to say, without the use of those things by the gods or beasts, those things will actually dissipate between heaven and earth on their own. Seeing that Yi Feng finally came back, Huishan also hurriedly told the news. What? The divine stones, divine crystals, and numerous cultivation resources and natural treasures are dissipating between heaven and earth? This is unscientific. Hearing this news, Yi Feng also revealed a hint of surprise. Wait a minute, at this moment, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something, and then hurriedly asked the system, you said that the top planes are so poor that they can't even make ends meet. Are they also experiencing this situation, and now, this situation has spread to the God realm? Ding. Host, you guessed right, but you don't have to worry too much, because you can solve this problem, and all you need to do is continue to squander money. It's that simple. As Yi Feng's voice fell, the system quickly responded. In other words, I don't have to worry about anything. Just keep squandering money and playing, and finally get the title of savior, for free? After hearing what the system said, Yi Feng also grinned. If he really let him be a savior, he really didn't like it, but if he just squandered money and got the title of savior for free, then he could accept it. System. How long will it take for the God realm to be so poor that it can't even make ends meet? Then, Yi Feng asked the system again. Ding. Host, the God realm can still support for 1,000 years, so don't have any psychological burden, just play normally. Soon, the system gave a response. 1,000 years. That's plenty of time. In that case, I will pretend that I don't know anything and continue to squander money as I please. Knowing that the God realm can still support for 1,000 years, Yi Feng completely relaxed. System, I was just being polite, but you really don't take it seriously? Palace Master. Don't be so nervous. Even if this news is true, there will be no turmoil in the God realm in the short term. After understanding these situations, Yi Feng looked at Huishan and comforted him, because he knew that even if he played casually, he would leave the God realm and ascend to the top plane in less than a year. Young Master Yi. I don't care whether the God realm is in chaos or not. But what I want to say is that since this situation has occurred, we can't continue to lose money. After hearing Yi Feng's words, Huishan also hurriedly expressed his thoughts. What? Don't lose money? How can that be possible? If you don't lose money, won't all these treasures disappear by themselves? Instead of letting them disappear by themselves, it's better for us to lose money for fun. Hearing Huishan's idea, Yi Feng directly persuaded him. Hearing what young Master Yi said, why does it seem quite reasonable? Hearing what Yi Feng said, Huishan was stunned. Chapter 779 Brother, come on, let's kneel together. Palace Master. Don't you understand yet? Then let me ask you, if I give you 10 billion pieces of top-grade divine crystals, do you want them to dissipate on their own, or enjoy them before they dissipate? Seeing Huishan standing there in a daze, Yi Feng spoke again with helplessness on his face. Enjoy. You must enjoy it. It will dissipate on its own anyway, so why not enjoy it? After hearing what Yi Feng said, Huishan understood instantly, and then quickly answered. Palace Master. You finally understand. Then the important task of enlightening others is left to you. Speaking of this, Yi Feng paused for a moment, and then suddenly asked, Palace Master, do you know Guiyuan Tianchen? Guiyuan Tianchen? Could it be that young Master Yi has Guiyuan Tianchen in his hands, and then he wants to lose his family again? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Huishan also revealed a bitter smile. He didn't understand why Yi Feng had so many top treasures in his hands. Young Master Yi. Guiyuan Tianchen is a rare natural treasure in the Tiandao battlefield. After taking it, it can increase the lifespan of ordinary people or Shintoists, and there are no side effects. However, if you want to fully exert the effect of Guiyuan Tianchen, it is best to refine it into a pill. At this time, Huishan also looked at Yi Feng and explained. So that's it. Then how to lose it will be more interesting? Palace Master, do you have any better ideas? After listening to Huishan's words, Yi Feng asked again. Refine it into a pill. Then go to the Colosseum and feed this long-lived pill to the beasts that could die at any time. I think this would be more interesting. Hearing Yi Feng's question, Huishan was silent for a while, and then he expressed his thoughts. Palace Master. You are the Palace Master, but you are really good at squandering money. After hearing this, Yi Feng's eyes suddenly lit up, and then he looked at Huishan and praised him. Hey! After staying with you for a long time, let alone people, even a dog, can learn to squander money. So, it's not that I'm strong, it's that your influence is too terrifying. Hearing Yi Feng's praise, Huishan also smiled bitterly and muttered to himself. Palace Master. That's nothing, I'll leave first. After all, time is tight and the task is heavy, I have to hurry to find a powerful alchemist. After saying that, Yi Feng left the palace gate hall and then walked towards the dream hut. System. Use one opportunity to spy on the secrets of heaven. Help me find a powerful alchemist who meets the requirements. On the way to the dream hut, Yi Feng immediately gave orders to the system. Ding. Consume one chance to spy on the secrets of heaven, and there will be an alchemist who meets the requirements in Tiangue City. As Yi Feng finished speaking, the system's voice rang out in his mind. In front of the dreamy hut. Little feet. Don't bask in the sun, get up quickly, my master is coming. Realizing that Yi Feng was walking towards them quickly, Yi Xiaochui also quickly reminded him. If nothing unexpected happens, my master will go out to play again. Will you or I take action at that time? Yi Xiaojiao quickly stood up from the rocking chair and looked at Yi Xiaochui and asked. I have bullied you a lot during this period. Then I will give you this opportunity to show off. Hearing Yi Xiaojiao's question, Yi Xiaochui didn't think about it and directly expressed his thoughts. Brother Chui. You have a conscience. After hearing this, Yi Xiaojiao nodded with satisfaction. However, at this moment, Yi Xiaochui suddenly burst out with all his strength and knocked the defenseless Yi Xiaojiao unconscious with a palm knife. Fuck. Yi Xiaochui, you actually attacked me from behind. You are such a jerk. Also, my lord is coming soon. If he thinks I'm sleeping, I'll be in trouble. You're such a jerk. At the moment when Yi Xiaojiao was about to faint, he cursed in his heart. Xiaojiao. I'm so sorry. I feel that the weak have no chance to show themselves. If you want to get a chance to show yourself, then work hard to become stronger. This is also a kind of spur to you. Looking at Yi Xiaojiao, who fainted on the ground, Yi Xiaochui said seriously. Subordinate. Greetings, my lord. When Yi Feng came over, Yi Xiaochui also shouted respectfully. After hearing Yi Xiaochui's words, Yi Feng nodded first, and then his eyes fell on Yi Xiaojiao, who was sleeping soundly in a rocking chair. My lord. Do you want to wake up Xiaojiao? Noticed that Yi Feng's eyes fell on Yi Xiaojiao, Yi Xiaochui also asked hurriedly. No need. Let him continue to sleep. By the way, let Xiaohe, Xiaobai, Xiaotang, Xiaojian and the others come over later, and then you can play with Xiaojiao for a while, so that he won't be bored staying alone and always want to sleep. After hearing what Yi Xiaochui said, Yi Feng shook his head, and then said one of his ideas. Okay. I'm going to Tiangue City. Please take me there quickly. Then, Yi Feng looked at Yi Xiaochui and explained his purpose. My lord. I will open the space channel for you right away. After that, Yi Xiaochui casually opened a space crack, and then looked at Yi Feng respectfully as he walked into the space crack. It's over, it's over. This time it's a big deal. If Brother He, Sister Tang, Brother Bai, and Brother Jian come over, although Yi Xiaojiao will be beaten up, I will definitely become the second victim. When Yifeng left, Yi Xiaochui panicked. He never thought that things would turn out like this. If he had known it would turn out like this, he would never have knocked Yi Xiaojiao unconscious. Tiangui City. With a small map in hand, the world is mine. This thing is really convenient. After arriving at Tiangui City, Yifeng looked at the little red dot on the small map in front of him, and he also smiled and talked to himself. After a while. What's the situation with that young man? Why is he kneeling in someone else's courtyard? When Yifeng came to a courtyard on the edge of East City, according to the small map, he looked at a young man kneeling in the courtyard and talked to himself with a puzzled look. The other side. Hey! Another person is coming? Is he here to ask for the elixir as well? Doesn't that mean that someone can kneel with me? At this time, Xia Yu also noticed Yifeng, and then waved to Yifeng, and then shouted, "Brother, come on, let's kneel together." Chapter 780. As long as the money is in place, others will rush to ask for insults? God damn, kneel together? Who wants to kneel with you? Hearing the other party's words, Yifeng was directly confused. Although he didn't understand why the other party asked him to kneel together, he knew one thing, that is, the young man in the courtyard must have a brain problem. Brother! Why are you kneeling here? Also, why did you ask me to kneel together just now? When Yifeng walked into the courtyard, he looked at Xia Yu with curiosity and asked. Brother! If you want to ask Senior Guan to refine the elixir, you must kneel down and beg. After all, Senior Guan is a famous alchemy master in the God realm. It is not an easy thing to ask him to help. Hearing Yifeng's question, Xia Yu also explained. Xia Yu. I've already told you that I won't be able to make pills within a month. So, you should go back. At this moment, an old voice sounded from the house. Senior Guan. I won't leave. If you don't make pills for a month, I will kneel for a month. If you don't make pills for a year, I will kneel for a year. I believe that one day you will be moved by my sincerity. After hearing the old man's words, Xia Yu expressed his attitude seriously. Humph. Then you continue to kneel outside. As Xia Yu finished speaking, the old voice sounded again. Brother. Sincerity is shit. Listen to my advice, if you want to move the other party, you still have to rely on money. At this time, Yifeng also sat down next to Xia Yu, and then looked at the other party, and persuaded him. Brother. Senior Guan's alchemy depends on his mood. Although he said he won't make an elixir for a month, he might make one if he's in a good mood one day. Besides, what he hates most is people insulting him with money, so if you really want to ask Senior Guan to make an elixir, you can't ask for a reward, otherwise, you won't have any chance at all. Hearing Yifeng's words, Xia Yu was also shocked, and then quickly reminded him. Huh? What he hates most is people insulting him with money. Hearing Xia Yu's words, Yifeng was stunned at first, then a smile appeared on his lips, and then he looked at Xia Yu and said directly, Brother, today I will let you see what the power of money is. Hey! If you don't listen to the handsome guy, you will suffer. When you are driven out of the courtyard by Senior Guan, you will understand one thing, that is, the dignity of the strong cannot be trampled on. Seeing Yifeng walking directly to the door, Xia Yu shook his head helplessly. Senior Guan. I want to ask you to help me refine some pills. As long as you help me refine, the 100 million benefits will be yours. When he came to the door, Yifeng shouted with a playful look. Get out. You want to buy me off with just 100 million low-grade divine stones? What do you think of me? As Yifeng finished speaking, a voice full of anger rang out from the house. 100 million top-grade divine crystals. Hearing Guan Shanhai's roar, Yifeng said this calmly. Bang! As Yifeng finished speaking, the tightly closed door was suddenly opened from the inside, and then an old man rolled out of the house. This scene stunned Yifeng and Xiaoyu outside. My friend. Don't get me wrong. When I said get out just now, I didn't say it to you. I said it to myself. At this time, Guan Shanhai, who had rolled out, stood up and looked at Yifeng and explained quickly. Is this even possible? For the benefit of 100 million top-grade divine crystals, Guan Shanhai didn't even care about his face? Hearing Guan Shanhai's words, Yifeng couldn't believe his ears for a moment. He really didn't expect that the other party would roll out just to make up for the word roll out he shouted before. My friend. The sun is scorching, why don't we go inside to talk in detail? Then, Guan Shanhai said to Yifeng with a flattering face. Okay. Then let's go inside to talk. Yifeng nodded first, and then walked into the house. On the other side. Fuck. As long as the money is in place, others will rush to ask for insults? Is this the power of money? After seeing this scene, Xiaoyu, who was kneeling not far away, felt that his three views were completely refreshed. Inside the house. Bang. When Yifeng sat on the chair in the room, he directly slammed a magic ring containing 100 million top-grade divine crystals on the table, and then said, Senior Guan, I still say the same thing. Help me refine some pills, and the 100 million top-grade divine crystals will be yours. Hiss. When Guan Shanhai released his divine sense and found that the divine ring really contained 100 million pieces of top-grade divine crystals, he couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. Then, he suppressed his excitement and looked at Yifeng and asked, Master, what kind of elixir do you need me to refine? I have a Guiyuan Tianshan in my hand. I want to use it to refine some elixirs that can increase lifespan. I wonder if Senior Guan can help refine it. Hearing Guan Shanhai's question, Yifeng directly stated the purpose of his trip. What? Guiyuan Tianshan? This young master actually has Guiyuan Tianshan in his hand? Hearing Yifeng's words, Guan Shanhai also revealed a touch of surprise. After all, Guiyuan Tianshan has not appeared for nearly 1,000 years, and even the Guiyuan Tianshan of the youngest year has not appeared again. Huh. After taking a deep breath, Guan Shanhai finally calmed down his excitement, then looked at Yifeng and asked curiously, Master, how old is the Guiyuan Tianshan in your hand? How old is it? Does this thing have different years? I'm not sure. Hearing Guan Shanhai's question, Yifeng also said in confusion. Master. Guiyuan Tianshan has different years. For example, if the elixir is made from a 10-year-old Guiyuan Tianshan, then each elixir can increase the lifespan by 10 years. If it is a 100-year-old Guiyuan Tianshan, then the elixir can increase the lifespan by 100 years. By the way, the age of Guiyuan Tianshan is easy to identify. The older it is, the taller and bigger it grows. I wonder how big the Guiyuan Tianshan in the master's hand is. Seeing that Yifeng had no idea about the situation of Guiyuan Tianshan, Guan Shanhai also explained. The taller and bigger it grows, the older it is? After listening to Guan Shanhai's words, Yifeng checked the situation of his Guiyuan Tianshan in the system space.